Hey everybody, it's Gabby from Disco Spine Crafts. It is a cold winter night and we're gonna just have a cozy vlog. I'm gonna show you some finished objects I have with me today and a couple whips I'm working on, and just be very cozied up and chill. So last video, I was letting y'all know that I was working on a Musselburgh hat that I was planning to bring with me on some train rides, and as I anticipated, I was able to finish it, and it came out beautiful. I love this like purple color. I showed y'all in the cake format last video, and here it is all knitted up. I really hope the recipient is really pleased with it. Here's what it looks like, all, brimmed down. And it has this gentle little like striation going on that has like almost like a little bit of lavender streaking and then like a light purple. It's really beautiful. I'm really pleased with this. So, and it feels extremely soft. I just have to plot on when I can deliver this to them, because I love to, not terribly far. It's the recipient's also in New York City, so hopefully I can drive in and drop it off and say hello. So looking forward to that in the near future. I'm going to take a little break on Musselburgh hats since I just did like 2 back-to-back and work on some other small format projects. I have also finished my Ooey Gooey socks. They came out super fun. They're like a little chaotic, a little clownish in a very, in a way I can get down with. And I'm just like proud of them. I haven't really done that much color work in socks. I'm gonna issue a big correction for that, because I did over the years make my family Christmas stockings, and I think that's how I learned how to do socks. So starting off with a hot tip: if you celebrate Christmas or Yule and you want to make stockings to hang over the mantle, make a stocking for your holidays, because you make them gigantic and then you can like learn the shaping, but you're not doing it on tiny needles. That's a great little bit of advice, if I don't say so myself. So, Ooey Gooey socks. I am pretty pleased with this. I do wish that in certain parts, like down here where the color gets like very variegated and a little crazy and fun, the circles, little dots are a little bit harder to see, but I am still quite pleased with them. They're a little more clear right here. Almost like very, all over the map. But the structure is lovely. They turned out, again, so soft. This was a new skill for me, the welts right up here. I like the texture they provide. They have this stiffness to them, but on the inside it's completely flat, so it wouldn't bother you to wear, which is really cool. And then this was a little challenging to get through. I felt like when I was making the welts, I was really like digging my tip of my needle in such a way to like grab it. So it was a little tricky for me, but once I got the hang of it, I executed it perfectly fine. And it's a really cute little pop there. So really pleased. You can kind of see that like after I blocked it, it still has like a little like a little lump here. Whoop. But it's still so cute. It's lovely. I'm really pleased with them. And yeah, it's been bitter cold, so it's quite nice to have some more wall socks in the mix. Can't complain about that. So let's talk about some current works in progress, the whips. I wanted to start my magical mycelium socks, so I did cake up the kit that I bought for that. It's really nice green. It's really cute. And this kit came with 3 contrast colors. And I got this kit from Fiber MacGyver when I went to her booth at Rhinebeck. I say something about that experience every single video I've made, because it was a wonderful haul this year and she has great stuff. So these are all the contrast colors that came in the kit. And then I did a little bit of the cuff, but I made a little error and I started the cuff in main color. So I was like, I don't know. Do I just continue, or it's supposed to be brown? It's supposed to be the other color, the contrast. And I think I might just frog this and just start from the beginning again, because I kind of want it to be on pattern. And if I get if I were to do both socks with green cuffs and then get to like the end of the pattern and realize I don't have enough, I will really kick myself. But every time I've made socks, I always have enough left over. That shouldn't be the issue. But yeah, so I guess it's just a matter of preference, and I think I kind of want to do the brown. So a little bit of a bummer, but no, not a lot of time lost. So I'm gonna get back to that soon, so I can have another lovely pair of handmade socks in my wardrobe. And lately, I've been working on the Ooey Gooey cowl. This is another kit of yarn that I bought at Rhinebeck from Primrose. I think I had both of these whips that I'm working on. The kits of the yarn I featured when I did my little Rhinebeck haul video. So if you want to watch that, I'll link it. But we had a really cool experience at the Primrose yarn stand as well. This kit is so fun. I've got this extremely highlighter yellow Suri alpaca that is so soft. I'm loving the experience of knitting this. It's such a joy, and it's like so pleasurable to just be like knitting with it and feeling it constantly. It's lovely. And this pattern is turning out so cool. Like, this motif I really love from her. Oh, I'm spotting an error right on camera. Fudge. Oh, well, I really don't want to go back that far. I think I would rather duplicate stitch that. You know what this is? This is because that's where I joined in the round. That's the jog. So that's not even an error, that's my jog. Ugh. Yeah, I think I could duplicate stitch a little bit. It's gonna be annoying because it's very contrasted, but the fluff on the alpaca will probably help that. Let me know in the comments if you guys have experienced this, like, oh yeah, always, no problem, and you have like a dedicated go-to solution. I'm gonna turn it around and show you a side that doesn't have an obvious flaw. So here we go. Look how beautiful. It's really, and I'm loving it. It's like a feast for the eyes and the hands. It's great. So yeah, this yarn creator, dyer, had put together her own kits of her own yarn, and she creates this like barber pulled yarn that is very similar to the like dyed in the wool stuff that Andrea Bowery always uses in her patterns. So this is the 2 skeins that came in the kit with the extremely bright, fun Suri. So I'm really loving the contrast here. This color of like highlighter yellow is a favorite of mine. I have multiple items of clothing that are highlighter yellow, and I always bring them into my outfits in this way where it's like, okay, I have my dark outfit and pop of color with it. Right now I have some highlighter yellow gym shoes, so every like, you know, black legging t-shirt outfit that I'm wearing to the gym to work out, highlighter yellow shoes, and it's fun. Like, especially in the winter, and especially with like in a country where everything fucking sucks. Like, I want to be dopamine dressing. I want to be having some joy and color in my life. So here we are. We're making it. So right now I happen to be on a skein that has a lot of dark right in the beginning. I decided to kick off with that so I could really see the pattern come to life, because the second skein has more variation and colors. If you could tell, so this is quite like charcoal gray, and this one's like a little more rainbow, even though they're both like muted. So as this gets to, this is going to be the last color, you could see a little bit more brightness in there, and then I will transfer to here, and I think I might pick it up with this center of this one, so you could kind of, it doesn't need to match, but it's more just like it kind of might flow nicely. And then the funny part will be like the end that has this like orange is going to lead into like just straight up gray. But you know what? That's the joy of like all this hand-dyed yarn and the different color work that we do. And it's just kind of seeing where things fall. It's like I have a little bit of control over picking which one I start with and where, but yeah, that's the yarn I got. That's how it wound up, and I'm just along for the ride, and that's pretty fun. You get to see how it looks at the end. So really loving this. This is turning out exactly as I hoped, and I'm just gonna keep powering through this the next couple days. I'm filming this on a Saturday, so I have tomorrow to do a couple more like long sessions of just chill knitting. You know, we're here in the Hudson Valley, so it's super snowy and not letting up anytime soon because we've had a really cold temperatures. So don't want to bore you too much with weather talk, but we're really just like in like the tundra and you know, just cozied up inside. Every family I know with small kids is like going a little stir crazy. We're just keeping it as manageable as possible. And the only way I'm surviving this winter, I told some friends, is the fact that like I have knitting as a hobby and I have 2 cats, and after I put my kids to sleep, I chill with those kitties, I get my knitting out, and I just have a little me time. It's like keeping me sane. On that note, because it's been so cold and I have been enjoying using the like old classic hot water bottle for like been heating a back muscle that doesn't feel great, I really want to try that hot water bottle knit cover that a lot of people have been making. I saw a few different people review it and say that it was like a fun gift, like around the gift roundup videos in the holidays. I think Casey at Young Folk Knits made one that she liked. So I'm kind of intrigued because yeah, I'm always wrapping mine in like a tea towel or something because obviously it gets kind of really hot on the surface. Yeah, so I think that could be a really good one, especially after doing like quite a few socks. I'll have like a lot of like scrap fingering to put through a project, and that might be a great option. So thinking about that, but for now I've got plenty on my plate with this, with my mycelium, and I still have a sweater on the needles right now. All right, so I also want to show you this sweater I have on the needles that I'm slowly working through, but as lovely as I think it is, I'm really having a hard time on the sleeves. So here is my tessellated pullover. I started it back when it was like a Rhinebeck knit ages ago and put it down, and I really love the overall look of it. I love how this color scheme knitted up. It's definitely a little bit cropped, which, you know, since I started this, my body has changed so much in postpartum recovery. Now that baby is just turned 3. So, you know, sometimes it's hard to, sometimes it feels like that was so long ago, and sometimes it feels like I'm still like postpartum. It really depends on the mood. But tell me if you can relate. Yeah, it's like, this is gorgeous. It feels lovely. I love the mosaic knitting. It's really like interesting. And I love the detail that she did. Oh, got some ends where you have like a seam here for the contrast. It's really great. So this is how far I've gotten on the sleeve. And I'm using the light bulb markers to mark my increases. That has been a challenge, like figuring out the increases is really tricky with I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around it. And she gives a lot of instruction about it that makes sense to me on paper, and then when I go to do it, I am really second guessing myself, and she'll kick off with like, for example, like, I don't think I'm going to give everything away on the pattern, but I'll make it up. So let's say she starts off with like knit 2, and then you proceed with the rest of it. My pattern grid of like these little squares is set up for me to like knit 1 and then continue with the pattern because of the way that I've decreased along the way. So I'm like, I don't think I'm doing something wrong, because once I get out of the decrease zone, I can continue in pattern correctly. And so you're only decreasing like every 1 inch or so. So it's really tricky. And I think part of what I decided the last time I like sat down and had another like 10-minute pause while I like reread it again and again, and I was like, maybe I just go for it. Like, as long as the sweater's not falling apart and as long as I'm decreasing and I can keep the main pattern in pattern, the repeat, then that's that. Like the seam might have a jog, maybe like McCowell does. But at the end of the day, like, that might just be how it is. Like, I don't know. So I'm trying to like give myself a little grace around it. But yeah, I'll do like a couple repeats of this, and then I feel like I like lose my motivation a little bit with it. I don't know if maybe it's because I just like have a lot of like it uses a little more brain power. It's not just like doing a stockinette sleeve where I can kind of like lock in and like enjoy it a little bit. I'm like kind of very conscious of the pattern, and I would say this is maybe a little bit of an advanced pattern because it's a different skill, and it requires that you manage 3 strands at the same time, and you're always like dropping 2 and just using 1. So that's where mosaic can be easy to adapt to, but you just have a little more yarn management happening in your like kit in your bag or whatever. So there's little complicated elements. Again, not the end of the world. It's just a little bit of a mental blocker for me, and I'm really trying to work through those blocks because I love how it looks. It's really beautiful, and again, luscious, like so soft, and I would love to be wearing this. And because it's February, I'm also like realizing that I don't think at the rate I go with this, I don't think I can finish this to be wearing it this winter while it's cold right now. It's like I would have liked to already have this done, which would have required me to be working on it a lot more. So I have this whole sleeve, obviously second sleeve, and picking up and doing the collar. So it's quite a bit of work ahead of me. So I think, sadly, this is gonna be a next winter type of garment. And then, as many of us knitters may relate to, when I start thinking like that, I'm like, well, then why don't I put that on hold on some barber cords and start a different sweater, one that maybe I could enjoy for like end of winter, spring. And I'm trying to maybe pace myself in a realistic way. I don't know. I'm like, good news is I showed in that old haul video, I have a bunch of stash stuff to work with, and I don't have to like go out and buy stuff. The name of the game for me is not about finding a fresh new pattern on Ravelry and then buying stuff for it. The name of the game is sticking to the plans that I've already made. Like doing like that sweater, or I have a couple other sweater quantities that like just need to get knit. I don't need to buy anything else. I don't need to read reviews. I don't need to be shopping around, listening to, pattern roundups or anything like that. I have some plans and I have to execute on them. So yeah, either finish this one or start one from my stash that might be a little bit more engaging for me. So yeah, I'm gonna see where that goes. I may just knit on this super slow all year and always have these like smaller, more instant gratification patterns going. Because yeah, maybe maybe that's a little bit of where I'm at mentally right now, that I want the finished product to come out a little sooner and feel that like accomplishment, that validation that comes from like, oh my gosh, I look at that, I blinked and here we are with a hat. So yeah, I'm just kind of feeling my way through some of those maker questions of the mind. And yeah, in the meantime, I'm just gonna enjoy these lovely socks that I made, keep myself warm, and I'll show you guys some fun scenes of knitting around the house in a cold, cozy winter setting.